awkward how I'm teaching the class now. We'll figure it out though. We'll come up with something. So any questions there on 72? We already solved that. Did that yesterday. Make sure there's no questions.
What number are we on? Everybody do 73.
Yeah, here's your problems. You forgot them.
I have them written down, but it's on like another page.
So we got 73, 74, 75, 76, 86, and 89, and then we are on to Mr. Hall's problems. Which are good ones. Good.
173.
What's that? So we're on to 73 now.
Get it.
Dragon. Hovering helicopter.
Alright, number 73. A bag is dropped from a hovering helicopter. The bag has fallen for 2.0 seconds. What is the bag's velocity? How far has the bag fallen? Ignore air resistance. And in this, what you're going to end up with, especially in like your Physics 1, Physics 2 courses in college and stuff, pretty much you're ignoring air resistance completely. Stuff like that we're throwing out, okay? Like there absolutely is a difference if I throw a tennis ball through the air or if I throw a football through the air. But for us, we don't care. We're going to ignore air resistance. So in this, bag has fallen for 2 seconds. So what's that give us?
Time.
Time, which is
2 seconds.
alright. Reading on through there. What is the bag's velocity? So we're being asked to find the bag's velocity. Is that going to be initial or final? Final. So we're being asked to find it. It's also asked how far is the ball, has the bag fallen, sorry. So is that going to be our initial or final position?
Final.
So we're going to final position. Yes. So, there's the information I have from the problem. We clearly cannot solve nothing with the one piece of information we have on this paper, so that clearly means there has to be more information we can pull from the problem. So what can we pull?
Is the initial position 0?
Okay, we got 2 things. We said initial position is 0 meters. And somebody said gravity. What is gravity?
9.81 meters per second.
So 9.81
Is the gravity acceleration?
meters per second squared, which is what I was asking for. They jumped ahead of me, went on and gave it to me. But y'all fine, don't be sorry, you're on the right track. So we now have an acceleration. We now have an initial position. Is there anything else we can pull from this?
Is the initial velocity 0?
What makes you think initial velocity is 0?
It has to start from somewhere, so
Somebody said the key word.
Hasn't?
No.
Has to start somewhere.
has not been dropped.
It dropped. Whenever you drop something, okay, you just release it. You did not throw, you did not toss, you did not sling.
You just open your hand.
Yeah, we dropped the bag. So initial velocity of 0. So in this case, we got to answer these 2 right here. So we're looking to find out final velocity.
We can do the
Final position.
final position will be the easiest to do, I believe. Now we can figure out final position with the x of f equals x initial position.
So y'all want to use final position equals initial position plus initial velocity times time plus 1/2
I think you could do a much
times
easier
acceleration, which is gravity times time squared.
You
You
can
can
use
formulas
and see. I just thought you could do 9.81 times 2. Acceleration times 1. We can use the second one up on I don't know, maybe.
Well,
You can try that and see if it works.
The velocity final equals velocity initial plus acceleration times time. Am I wrong?
So you're saying on this one you want to do velocity final equals initial velocity plus acceleration times time?
Yeah, that'll give you final velocity, or never mind, final position, so it won't work for me.
But you're fine. I just thought you were solving for what's in pink.
Yeah, you have to solve for both.
You guys solve for both, so you're not wrong, Taylor. You're fine with what you're saying. You're just solving for the pink one. So which one y'all want to solve first?
Guess the long one.
I don't know.
Solve for final position, I guess.
All right, final position. So let's look at this. Initial velocity, initial position in 0 meters, so knocks that out. Initial velocity is 0 meters per second, so it knocks that out. So I'm literally left with my final position is equal to 1/2 times gravity times time squared. So now in this, we can plug in our information to get 1/2 times gravity, which is 9.81 meters per second squared, times time squared, which is 2.0 seconds squared. Now, I'm going to say this. Taylor, you brought up an idea earlier about just taking acceleration times 2. In that case, it would work on this problem, but it's not going to work in every problem. Orlazzi, so here we go. Oh, I did it again. Hit 0.2. So 0.5 times 9.1 times 0 squared. And I get 19.62 meters. And there is our final position. Is there any questions there? I think you guys are going to have questions. It's not on which formula to really pick or how to plug these numbers in. I think it's going to be pulling this information up here.
I just need to remember the formula.
Can you show me how you type out Instagram letters?
The final velocity is the
I
same
know you gotta
thing
do it kind of in
as.
steps to actually get it. That's kind of.
Huh.
Final velocity is the same thing as.
Let's see.
Final
It ain't showing up. Snap.
I can see it. Yeah. 0.55 times.
There we go.
Oh,
We're collecting
Snap. I do not have any cash.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
You're fine back.
I hate that they said that there. Alright, does that help you? Like I told you.
Cost come from?
It's 1/2.
1/2. It's okay.
Like I said, I love parentheses. If you're not using them, I recommend them. They help you out.
Or you can just do stuff like
Is that like your song right now?
Well,
Weren't you doing it yesterday?
I don't know where that's from. That's from the song.
That's
Like,
Fallout Boy, that sugar was on down.
Alright, so let's look at this one, okay? Taylor threw out this idea. We could look at final velocity is equal to initial velocity plus acceleration times time. Absolutely spot on.
Yay.
Best part is, you know what initial velocity is?
0.
0. So all we got is acceleration times time, which is 9.81 meters per second squared times time, which is 2.0 seconds.
It equals not 2.62.
I thought it was, but I'm gonna punch it in the calculator in case anybody needs to see how I did it. That is meters per second. I'm gonna go on and answer your question. No, that does not always happen.
But in this case, it did.
Yes. I don't know if you can see that good or not. That's the same thing. Yeah, you really can't see that good at all, can you?
I got my first.
Probably should choose contrasting colors.
It looks okay.
It's okay. You tried. That's all that matters.
I got my first ACT scores back, Mr. Hall.
Woohoo, gotta
I
go.
got a 21.
I got a 28 science.
A what?
A 28. But my score didn't change.
Oh, the first one you
Just
took
my
it?
science and math score. And then my English score went.
First time you took it?
Oh.
The first one.
I had a 32 the first time I took it in English, and I was like a 20.
We shared ACT scores.
Wait, you got the 21 your first time? That's what I got my first time.
All right. Good here? Questions?
Wait, what's the difference?
I have to. I like to call it.
This one's velocity and that one's position. Okay.
Do you have any like worksheets that we could just pull information out of the problem? Not even have to.
After we're done with the book problems, I'm actually creating a worksheet to give you guys.
Oh, they were saying. I'll do it the same tomorrow
Tomorrow.
Can we try
I'm
another
still
one by
kinda-
ourselves?
Is this a
Like we did
quiz
yesterday?
or a test?
Yeah.
This is a quiz.
Yeah, I don't do tests.
What's your gradings? Oh, well, how much are
Points are points.
It's points.
Points are points in this class. Doesn't matter if it's homework. We are doing 17 problems at the end of this, so we're literally going to give. I already gave you the points for it.
Alright.
Because I looked at it as I'm sitting here doing these with you in class. If you don't have the right answers, that's just pure laziness and stupid on your behalf. And
If you
yeah.
throw, you split graph, you'll still be involved.
74. You throw a ball downward from a window at a speed of 2.0 meters per second. How fast will it be moving when it hits the sidewalk 2.5 meters below? Absolutely, gravity is still in effect, and I will let you all give it a shot because Leslie asked.
And he's throwing it downward.
Believe in you all, you can do this.
We are.
Oh wait, I can freeze this and work it myself. I forgot about that.
We're trying to find final velocity, right?
Mm-hmm. How fast will it be moving when it hits the sidewalk? 2.5 meters below. So, I highly recommend taking this time that I'm giving you to attempt this problem.
We know how that works, because when Miss Plumley held us back, like, after class, we didn't want to go get our books magazine. We're like,
I feel like this ain't right.
Sorry.
sorry. But we got the last problem right.
Yeah, I got the
We did
last
it on our
problem
own.
right. We should look. I was pretty proud of that school.
Putting the book up for you guys.
Yeah.
But now he can't work out the problem.
Why can you
Why?
not work out the problem?
Oh, wait, never mind. He can. I'm stupid.
74.
Yeah, I know that. I'm working on that.
Sorry.
Hey, don't worry, I know the problem. I'm working.
So, you don't have
All right, doing 74.
to tell me to follow up. You don't have time.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Nope, this is. Oh.
I think I did have it right.
Alright.
That's fine.
You might need a calculator while I'm up here.
Bless you. Bless you. Welcome.
The only thing that I'm really struggling with is trying to remember which one's which. With the real signs.
Yeah, that matters.
Yeah, I don't, yeah. Back to the calculator part.
That wasn't bad.
Do you get a decimal?
Yeah.
What do you mean by decimal?
Can you,
Is there a decimal in my number? Yes.
do you have to convert it to decimal? That's probably.
What do you mean convert it to?
Would you play that?
With this.
With the square? So if my answer's in square root, I call it.
Holy jumping catfish.
Like you have a square root, you solve every number, and you have it like that. Yeah, it makes my life a lot simpler.
I got this right.
My life is complete. My life is complete. If I got this. Oh my god. This is the first one I've ever
How much harder does it get in physics compared to this?
Is it a long test?
Is it just like chemistry? Like you know how it was that?
I explain physics like this. As soon as you have an idea of what you're doing,
Something else starts.
something else adds to where you're confusing it. It
Great.
just keeps adding.
Great. Because I'm pretty sure I just got this right and
No, that's fine. That's good. You should be getting it. My goal is ultimately to change that. I want you all to be the class that gets this and understands this. Because
Okay,
I'm teaching
please.
this like I've never taught this before.
okay, well please tell us the answer. And I'm gonna bite my tongue while you tell me.
Da, da, da.
Wait, don't tell us the answer, Brad.
I was gonna say, we're hoping it's on.
We didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't show you. right, that's what I got.
I
was pretty close.
7.2835.
Yeah, what'd you get?
I got 7.00357.
I got
7, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get everything the same under there?
I don't think I squared, wait.
4.0
I didn't square-
plus 2
wait.
times 9. Oh, that's not.
Wait, yeah, I
Yeah, I
got
got
the same
that.
thing as well.
Check and make sure you squared that. That has to be squared because the initial velocity is squared.
I almost had it, but by like a couple decimals.
What'd you get?
7.436396977. I don't
That's
know.
interesting. Did you square it?
I filled it all in and then I did it all
Did you make
together,
sure
and
you
then I
punched
squared it.
everything in properly?
Yeah.
Like 9.81 and 2.5? It's really interesting.
So do you want us to round?
Yeah, what I always do is I like to go 4 places past a decimal.
Okay.
Because I feel like 4 places past a decimal is good on accuracy and it's good in precision.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I did. I like did that and then I squared it and then I got that.
Because that's what I got.
That was pretty close.
Hilarious.
Oh, let me try it again.
Yes, I got it.
Give it a shot, give it a shot.
What number?
If you're done with 74, move on to 75.
That was my answer pretty close to consider it correct?
Yeah, can you front the book back up there, please?
So demanding.
Because it was 7.00357. And you got 7.2. So,
Did we do 75? Oh yeah, you said 75.
What does that mean when you throw it up and set it down?
Okay, take the that is the point of what I'm saying. Let me see your calculator and I'll tell you, Spam.
okay.
Is
So then it would start at 0.
in that case I would count that right because you would
I
get
would like
different
to
route as
come to the
me.
office.
It's just
Just
rounded.
as a reminder that if you have your money to order your homecoming shirt, you need to do so before you leave today. Today's the last day to place your order. Thank
Okay,
you.
so one of those, like this is a perfect example of like one of those problems where I'm talking about. I'm going to look and see about your velocity, your initial velocity, and your acceleration is going to tell me your axis. Because now the initial velocity and the acceleration are going in opposite directions. So one of them has to be positive and one has to be negative. Because remember, that negative sign's not telling you that value is negative, it's telling you the direction.
I got a question, real quick.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it just change your initial velocity? Or your initial initial velocity? Because on the last problem it was 2.0 and this one it would just be 0 because when it reaches the peak, it starts at 0, like it just completely stops and comes back down.
Yes, the initial velocity change.
Okay, well then I guess it's not 0.
But how far up does it go?
Throw the ball in the previous ball. That's the previous one.
If you throw the ball in the previous problem up instead of down, how fast will it be moving when it hits the sidewalk?
If you throw it up, it's going to come back down.
Wait a second. Is it 2.0 positive, 9.81 negative?
You can do it that way, but you have to make sure everything else represents that. So like you're changing positions at the represent.
So it's like the question about the, I can't even remember which one. Yeah, like the, I'm just gonna try.
This is my piece of advice. Unless you are so confident in yourself and being able to understand what's happening here, work this thing from scratch. Start everything back over. Start labeling everything back again. Start labeling initial velocities, final velocities, your acceleration.
What I'm asking is, okay, because it started at 2 again, and then it's thrown up at like 2 meters per second, and then it comes to like a complete like 0, 0, right?
Yeah, they'll come apart. There'll come a point in the air where it stops, and then it starts to fall down.
So wouldn't it? mean, you can't just
Wouldn't
be
it
like,
what?
no.
No, you gotta ask the question though.
Where are we measuring? Like,
You're
we have
trying
to
to
see how
find.
fast it will be moving when it hits the sidewalk, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's what it says.
Yeah.
So couldn't you just measure from the point, but we don't know the distance? Ah! Sorry.
And we're still looking for velocity.
I'm just trying to think through it.
I'm just gonna start from scratch.
There's a lot on this one. I think I
Well, once
put
it hits the sidewalk, it's not moving. That's my answer.
Final answer.
honestly, if I gave you a problem like this, I would give you the second problem without giving you the first. And you'll find out why here in a minute.
If you throw a ball up and it starts to come down, how fast is it?
Negative 7 points. Please don't.
What is the
Mr. Roy, you mind if I use the bathroom real quick?
Go for it.
Your boy is.
Caitlin Lockley, come to the office.
For gravity being negative.
Then you're choosing, guys, like in this, the numbers are your magnitudes, okay? But the directions come from those signs. You can either choose your initial velocity as negative, you can choose gravity as negative. Thing of it is once you set the axis, you have to stick to it. You can't have anything that contradicts it.
I'm just kind of confused on how you would like estimate how high the ball went up when they threw it.
You wouldn't estimate, you'd calculate.
Well, I mean, I know that. We'll calculate whatever. But like, how would you do that? Like,
Build the problem. You know what this is? You know what this problem is for you all right now? This problem is the equivalent of the cost of an atom of aluminum foil.
And I saw what it
we never figured that one out.
It's not blood. Ready.
Mr. Palmer, it's not.
Do you have an answer?
I do not, because this one takes me a second to think through.
Well, then I definitely got it wrong. Give me a second.
yeah, if it's the equivalent to the cost of an atom of aluminum foil, you'll never.
Yeah, we're
you'll
done.
never.
You'll get it, solve it.
Are you gonna do that to your new chemistry?
Yeah, don't tell me.
Next for seniors who are participating in fall sports to come to the cafeteria at this time. That's seniors only participating in fall sports. Come to the cafeteria at this time.
Senior.
I'll just get one from Taylor. No. Right now, for senior night.
Still be 2.5.
I don't know. I'm tempted to just be like.
All right. Hold on, Taylor. What'd you get? Do you know off the top of your head?
Negative.
Because I can tell you if you're
Negative 6.7119.
not yet.
Is it lower?
I'm not going to tell you that. I'm just
Is
going
it
to tell you
negative
not yet.
7.00?
When you guys see this, you're going to be like so mad.
Is it negative 7.2 whatever number?
Do what?
Is it negative 7.2 whatever? That rest of that number?
The negative version of the answer to the first problem.
Yeah.
What's your free lunch?
What do you have? Second.
I don't know, like I was just put my gravity as negative and I'm practically gonna get the same answer. So I'm just turn it negative.
Because at the beginning of the problem, gravity is negative against the ball going up. But then it starts to become positive again, pushing it back down.
Cannot change. Once the problem's set, the problem's set. If gravity's negative, it's negative all the way through. unless you're breaking the problem in half.
Could you break it in half?
Can't
Okay.
break it in half.
Can we break it? Can you show
Can
us
you
how
break
to break
it
it?
in half?
That'd probably be a thing for tomorrow.
What did you get?
Guys, no, you would just do like.
It's a final position.
There's no way to get time.
Yeah, can I show you what I got?
What? What'd you get, Molly?
I'm gonna do this.
Molly got 6.859.
What's that right, Mom?
He never told me that my answer was wrong.
What'd you get? There we go.
The negative of the first one, just because she changed gravity to negative.
7 acres to the office, 7 acres.
Which I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I hate opposed.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm wrong.
On our test, is it gonna be like
This.
the one we had before, like 74, like those type?
What is it?
Is it gonna be like about that level? The one, our questions on the quiz, like 74 and 75 type thing.
I'll say it this way. I will be completely honest with you. You are guaranteed something at least at a 75 level.
75, man, I can't even solve that.
And that's my thing is there has to be something that's going to pull on you mentally, and that problem's pulling you mentally.
Okay.
They're
The
also
negative
gonna
version of the first
They're
answer.
also gonna be easier problems too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you guys see how this has worked,
It's her wearing red today.
y'all are going to feel the same way.
Making her angry.
Cause like 74 wasn't too bad.
I'm not
but
changing my
75.
mind since the negative version.
The shopping cart, I think, is literally the hardest part. Like, I'm not kidding. Like figuring out like
What to pull out of
what
it?
to pull out of it. Like
Because I don't know.
because like once you pick your formula and everything, all you do is solve your formula. But like taking stuff out of the problem.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do this.
Can you tell us that we decide?
How do keep this up for myself? Three different positions.
You can and you can't.
But we don't know what we don't know. Because like you have it in your
Physics.
hand. You have it up here.
Caitlin Lively, North Grade Hunter Lester, come to the office.
I don't know, that's where I'm going.
Did you get the answer?
Is this the answer? You did get the answer?
I did. I solved it.
Can you show us?
What time is it?
We have like 3 minutes left.
Can you show us, please?
Just let me know.
Please.
Let us see.
Look how weird his hand looks over there.
Okay. Here comes the fun part. Everybody's going to be like, there's no way.
It's 0.
I gotta be honest, Chloe. I seriously thought you were about to think your way to the answer. I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to do this. I'm so proud. And then you stopped, and I was like, no.
Well, you were looking at me like I was stupid, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna shut up.
Sometimes you do that, and it's really just your face. Like, you don't even mean to make us feel like we're stupid, but.
Wow, way to like insult me.
And it's not that. You're just any emotion
No,
in your
you don't.
face.
You just
It
like
doesn't
look at
exist.
us, and so we feel stupid because you don't
All right.
show emotion.
Before you say anything, this is number 75.
It doesn't exist. Wait.
I
the
got the
same?
answer and I thought I was stupid. I didn't make the 2 negative because I knew it would be the right, like the same answer
Why is
as the
that? I
last
swear.
one. I raced it.
Are you talking here?
Yeah.
Because
Because I
initial
thought-
velocity is squared. Congratulations, Katie. That is awesome.
But I didn't
All right,
do it like
Savannah,
that.
for you, the whole thing that I'm going to ask is once you chose your directions, what are you looking at? Because if you absolutely can get this number to be negative, and you'll be 100% right. But do you have the down direction as negative? Because that's what's going to matter. So you said you're.
There was an iPhone left in one of the girls' restrooms today. If you have lost your phone, come to the office.
You said that you set gravity as negative, right?
Yes.
What did you set the initial velocity as?
The initial velocity? Positive. Wait a
You
second.
know what? Since you said that, I'm just gonna continue.
What did you set? What did you set final position?
Final position?
What did you
Savannah
set?
Atkins, come to the office. This is a reminder that there is after-school tutoring today.
I think
After-school detention, I'm sorry. Report to the
Positive.
office. And wait on Ms. Thomas. Thank you.
am I supposed to put that negative?
When is that a thing?
Your final position would have to be negative, and your gravity would have to be negative. Think about this mathematically, because what would happen? If you didn't have
Negative
two
and a
negative
negative.
signs here, you're end up with a negative, so you're ending up with an imaginary number. But if you set gravity and this,
Then you're going
Is
to get a
negative?
positive.
yes, but in that case, you would have to change it, because you flipped your axis to where the down direction's negative and the up direction's positive. Where I just changed my initial velocity here to where it's negative,
You didn't have to
I
change it.
didn't have to change nothing else,
Because it's squared.
and it worked for me.
So it's halfway right.
Okay, the question of it is when you put this in the calculator, how'd you put it in here?
You know you don't show up, right? You don't show up. Oh, so people can see. Okay.
Because on that negative 2.0.
Camera's going.
Okay. Yeah, we're filming right. All right. No, you don't have to.
You should just put it on.
You guys can do. I think Savannah did this on the first problem. She solved everything under the radical.
Yeah.
Then once she solved everything under the radical, set that under the radical. That's why on that first answer, mine and her numbers were just slightly off. I punch everything in the calculator all together, so it'll give me this huge number that's really accurate and precise. Because that's what I'm looking for. I really shouldn't say precise, but accurate.
At least I wasn't completely wrong.
I thought about making the two negative, and then I was like, no, that's going to give me the same answer because it's going to be positive, and that's what I was going to. I was like, no, I need to make the other one.
But on this, guys, think about it. If I throw something up, we'll go over smart.
Thank you for explaining this very, dumbed down. Because sometimes people will explain it and, explain stuff we do, and it's like, that doesn't help me any, because it still sounds like gibberish. Sometimes in math, I'm just like,
Well, my goal is to bring you up to my level. It's not for you to have to look at me like, oh my goodness, I'm like all this, and all great, mighty, and wise, and powerful. That's not my goal. I want you guys to surpass me, because honestly, there's kids in here that are smarter than me.
okay, Joel,